Hi everybody, can you believe we're already in week 5? This week we're talking about advising, and I want to point out that when I use the term advising, I'm actually referring to a few different kinds of advising. Even though everything is happening within an international education context, we know that our jobs are complex and varied. So of course, we're talking a bit about counseling and how international educators provide counseling to their participants. Doesn't matter if you're working with high school students, college-age students, adults, you're going to be listening, you're going to be asked for your advice, so counseling is a large part of our work. We're also talking about academic counseling, especially those who are working in formal educational settings. You're being asked to provide advice about what programs relate best to a specific student's course of study. You're talking with faculty about how an international education experience complements the student's academic work. And many of you are involved with credential evaluation, whether you're evaluating the transcripts for international students applying to come into the United States, or you're looking at the potential credit values for students who are studying abroad, whether again at the university level or at the high school level as well. Counseling for international educators involves extracurricular advising. A lot of this is just students coming into your office or your work as a coach for a team or planning extracurricular activities. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, is the personal counseling. The student who comes and finds you in tears because of whatever the issue might be. So many of the participants who we're working with are young. We know from our study of student development theory, they are still growing, their brains are growing, and by definition, their hearts are growing as well. So personal counseling is a large part of this also. How are we going to approach this? Well, in 2 ways. We're going to start with the readings, and you'll see that the readings are divided into 2 sections. The first section is all required. There are 4 texts there. The first is Halfway Heaven, which, as you know from a previous email, is quite disturbing to read. It's about a murder-suicide that took place at Harvard about 15 or 20 years ago now. We're reading it to look at it from the perspective of counseling now. We'll also be considering it in a couple of weeks when we talk about health and safety and legal liability of our institutions as well. Just a note, 2 things to keep in mind. If you find the text too disturbing, don't force yourself to finish it, that's fine. Let me know in an individual email, and together we'll work out a way for you to learn from the text without having to push into that extreme discomfort. For many students, if you've had a personal experience that's very close to this, it brings up stuff. That's one of the reasons why we use this text, so that you can be aware of where your personal line falls and figure out how you would address this situation if you were leading a group and had a student in a similar situation. It's fine, we don't have to be able to do everything, but we always need to have a plan B in place. And one-on-one we'll figure out what that plan B is like. The other thing about this text, please don't leave it in a place where a young sibling or one of your children can reach it. Again, it's not material for young eyes to be taking in. So I just wanted to caution you about that. The other texts include, let's make sure I don't forget anything, the Green Guide, which is very brief and looks at advising from the perspective of higher education study abroad. The chapter by Love talks about advising within the student services sector. So those of you who are working in different areas of education, I think will appreciate the Love chapter very much. And the last is a web link to the National Academic Advising Association. Once you click on the link, folks, you'll see there's actually a whole bunch of material there. Nothing is assigned. The idea is that you go in, see what speaks to you, what's of interest to you, and identify the resources that are most helpful for you. A lot of students report back that they get lost in it because there's so much there. It's a great reference to have for the future. The second section of readings are personal choice. There is a capstone written by a former student who also was on staff here at SIT with the PIM program and with our contact program. Mariana Sorotiak explored the experiences of international students here at SIT in her capstone. It was written about 10 years ago. It's still very applicable today, and Mariana was here as an international student herself. She's originally from Romania, just so you understand her perspective. There is a video which is entitled Mize America, about the experiences of an international student at the high school level. And there is a chapter from a book called Rockin' in Red Square. It's a great text on contemporary international education issues. That chapter is called Ty's Story. So each one of them is a little bit different. Again, personal choice. You're encouraged to choose the one that speaks to you, that is of greatest interest to you. After you complete the readings, go through the PowerPoint. It has the voiceover narrated by yours truly, and the PowerPoint brings together all of the theory and the case studies. You'll see that there is the discussion forum as usual. The first question focuses on the required texts. Halfway Heaven. And the second discussion fora is open, allowing for you to draw on your personal experiences and pull that all in. Hope you find it all interesting. Your postings are continuously amazing and rich and keeping me very busy. I appreciate it very much. And I look forward to seeing you online. Thanks, everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Guess who's here? I have somebody to say hi.
So, hi everyone. You may not know me, and I may not know you yet, but I did want to say hi. My name is Daniel Yelowitz. I'm the Dean of the Graduate Institute. And Sora asked me to hop in and just say hello to all of you. So since I don't get that opportunity regularly, I just thought I'd take advantage. I'm inspired and stimulated by what I heard, and maybe I'll stop in at some point and get more.
Actually, Daniel, you would be a great guest lecturer for this week because Daniel's expertise and academic experience is in the field of psychology, and he teaches psychology at several schools in the area as well. So I'll come and talk to you. We'll bring you in after we've got some postings, okay?
I'd enjoy that.
Great.
Thanks all. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.